From that brief intro, many of you already know what I'm going to be talking about in this video. And for those of you that don't, fret not, because all will be revealed. Reggie here, your friendly neighborhood bodybuilder and comic book collector, and I want to welcome you to another one of my videos. If this is your first time watching one of my videos, I want to encourage you to go ahead and subscribe. That way you can stay abreast of all the content that I release here from the channel, where our mission is to help you make sense of comic book collecting. With that said, we are going to be talking about the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. And this is an intellectual property that has been hot for some time among a certain type of collector. But because of the announcement of the new movie that is based upon the Boom Studios comics, this property is starting to be really hot. And as a result of that, books associated with the Power Rangers are actually increasing in value. And so a few months ago, I actually went hunting in the collection, the 100K expanded collection, looking for some Power Rangers books. I stumbled upon them, and they've been sitting in a box off to the side waiting for me to do this video. But with the movie announcement and the excitement, I felt like now was the time to actually do it. So I will be sharing with you several different comics that I've actually found in my collection. And I'm actually going to be calling on those folks out there that are true fans, if you will, or aficionados of the Power Rangers to help me with some of the details, because I honestly haven't had a chance to dig into all of the details. And so I'm definitely going to be looking for those folks' comments down in the comment section. The very first set of books that I'm going to show you is part of a 6-part series that was actually done featuring the Power Rangers. And unfortunately, thus far, I have not found the first appearance of the Power Rangers. It was actually in a smaller size comic that they first appeared, but I do have the second appearance, which happens to be the issue number 1 of this 6-part series that I just mentioned. And that is what it looks like right there. I actually have, I want to say, like 2 copies of most of this first series. But this again is the second appearance of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. This series debuted, I do believe, in 1984. And so definitely a cool book from Hamilton Comics right here, featuring many of the Power Rangers. And I'll explain that in just a second. Here is issue number 2 of that series. And I have not read any of these, to be completely honest, but I probably will at least try to familiarize myself with some of this as soon as I wrap up this video. Here is issue number 3, and I can tell you these covers are just jam-packed with lots of different action. So this next issue, issue 4, is an important one because it is actually the first appearance of the White Ranger. And the White Ranger, wasn't in those first few issues, but appears here on the cover and also in this issue. So definitely a really cool one to have. Unfortunately, I don't have issues 5 and 6 of that first volume. I'm hoping that I may still be able to find it in the 100K collection. So fingers crossed with that one. Next up is another volume. This one actually came out in 1985. So I guess this is maybe volume 2 of, again, the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers right here. Issue number 1 there. Here is issue number 2. Little T-Rex action right there. My boy loves this cover because of the T-Rex. Here is issue number 4. And I have not found issue 5, but here is issue number 6 right there. And so, again, I don't quite know the whole history of the Power Rangers, but at some point, the intellectual property was maybe acquired by Marvel. And so I'll show you some Marvel books in just a second, but I have a few other Hamilton books that I'll show you. This is issue number 1 of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers saga. So really cool one right there. And these are some of, I guess, the Power Rangers out of their costume right there. I'm not sure if we saw that on any of the other books, but right here we're able to see them out of costume. Here is the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Ninja Rangers. This is issue number 1. It's also a flip book. I know that because I read it up here at the top, but again, a cool book right there. And then the next set of books that I'll be showing you again are those where Marvel actually acquired in some way, shape, or form the intellectual property. So we're going to start things off with, of course, issue number 1, the fabulous premiere issue based upon the hit TV series, and this is a direct edition right here. Here is issue number 2. And for some reason, again, I never really got into the Power Rangers. My brother was a fan of the Turtles and also the Power Rangers. I just never acquired quite an interest for it. Here is issue number 3. Really cool cover right here. This is issue number 4. Kind of a cool cover right there. I dig that one. Here is issue 5. And I'm not quite sure how long this series ran for, to be honest with you. Again, if you are watching this and you know, definitely drop that down in the comment section. Here is issue number 6 right there. And I guess at some point, the intellectual property transitioned over to Boom Studios because, as you heard me mention, there is going to be, I do believe, a movie that is going to be coming out based upon the Boom Studios version of the Power Rangers. And I'm not quite sure when that's going to debut, but again, that is part of what's actually driving some of the values that we are seeing right now for these books right here. And I'm definitely keeping my fingers crossed for that first appearance of the Power Rangers somewhere in the collection. Fingers crossed that I will be able to locate that book. So with that, I am actually going to wrap this video up. I want to thank you for taking the time to watch. I hope that you enjoyed this review, if you will, of some of the Power Rangers books going back to 1984 and 85. If you need to reach out to me, feel free to do so on Instagram at Regie Collects. Take care.